Hey everybody, I'm Molly and welcome to your practice. We're gonna do a mellow movement session today, combine some fascia flossing, embodied yoga, and active mobility for a whole body feel-good session, a posture reset, a movement screen. So I hope you enjoy it. Go ahead and grab a couple props. I'm gonna use 2 blocks, but a bolster would also work. And then either a yoga strap or a belt, or if you have like a chair or a couch in your space, that would work as well. It'll make sense when we get there. Okay, and then set your space up. I'm gonna do room spray, but you can put on some music or light a candle and let yourself arrive into your body and into your practice in a way that is kind and present. And we're gonna get started standing because I want you and me to kind of feel how we feel starting out. So just standing on both feet, noticing how your bones, your muscle, your fascia, your skin, how do you feel? How's your energy? Anything standing out in the body? And then we'll compare at the end. So go ahead and have a seat. You could sit onto a bolster or a block. And we're gonna take a kidney fascia floss. So find your butterfly pose where your feet are touching in the center, your knees are out wide. And then bring your knees up, bring your hands to the insides of your thighs or your knees, and then push out gently. So we're gonna create resistance with the inner thighs, but the hands are gonna win, drawing your knees outwards. Relax to come back in, and then find that gentle engagement of your adductor, your inner thigh tissue, as you spread your knees out. Okay, this is a fascia floss, so we're actively engaging our myofascial tissue as we elongate through the lengthening phase of the contraction. And this helps us kind of break up any areas of densified tissue or calcified tissue and helps us repattern smooth and feel good movement in our body. Let's do a couple more here. In Chinese medicine, all these lines of fascia are also related to meridians or channels. And as we open them up, we might find that we have more energy flow and life flow through our bodies. Okay, have a seat, bring your feet down to the mat, knees are pointing up to the sky, and then hands are behind you, fingertips pointing towards your hips. Start with your elbows bent and relax back. And then your engagement comes by pulling your fingertips forward. They won't actually move, but towards your hips as you straighten your elbows and peek your chest up to the sky. Relax it, bend your elbows and come back down just a few inches. And then fingertips slide forward as you straighten your elbows. Broaden across your chest as you lift it up. This is our pericardium channel, or around your heart space, the sac that surrounds your heart, protects it. And we're taking a soft tissue opening here because the front of the shoulders can be a little bit delicate, so don't go too intensely. Listen to your body. Let's do 2 more. Fingertips slide forward as you straighten your elbows and broaden across your collarbones, and then relax back. And finish up with 1 more. Good. Have a seat, whatever comfortable seat of choice. Close your eyes and just sway into your pelvis, your shoulders, your spine. And then find stillness and take a couple slow and low breaths in and out through your nose. Just taking a little check-in, tuning back into this space, into your practice, maybe setting an intention just to care for your body and all the other layers of you. 1 more slow breath. As you're ready, blink your eyes open and come onto hands and knees, tabletop. When you get there, drop down onto your elbows. So we're taking our classic warm-up, our child's pose, triple burn, or fascia floss. With this, we're gonna create engagement along the outer rim of the shoulder and the lats by pulling our elbows back and then sinking hips back to heels. So it's a light tug on that tissue. Inhale, relax to come forward, release the activation. Exhale, pull your elbows back. They won't actually move, but they're driving towards your knees. And hips sit back towards heels. Inhale, relax to come forward. So close your eyes, picture your fascia, this connective tissue wrapping around your whole body, your muscles, your organs, your nerves, your blood vessels, right under your skin. And this can get really tight like a wetsuit, but the way that we are fascia flossing helps us create more fluidity and slide and glide of the tissue. Hopefully you can breathe better afterwards, move better afterwards. You can keep your eyes closed the whole practice if you'd like to really envision that. And then we're gonna take a few with a side bend. So walk your elbows a little bit to the right and then pull your elbows back, especially the left elbow. As you do so, sink your hips back and then bring your right ear to your right shoulder. So a little stretch of the left side of the neck, come back forward. Let's just do one more side stretch with your neck over to the right. And then walk your elbows to the left. Draw your right elbow back, hips back to heels, and left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, relax to come forward. Exhale, bring your elbow back. Find that tissue lengthening, and then stretch the side of your right neck. Good, one more through center. And then find your two blocks, bring them on the highest setting to the top of the mat. I'm gonna find our hamstring classic fascia floss. This is for our bladder channel. Step your right foot forward. And then the activation of the tissue comes by dragging your right heel back. It won't actually move, but you'll feel the hamstring on the back of the thigh activate. So find that and then sink your hips back towards your left heel. Your knee does not need to go all the way straight. Inhale, relax to come forward, re-bend into your right knee. Exhale, right heel digs down and back. Find that activation of the tissue and then keep that same tensile force the whole range of motion as you glide back. Okay, relax to come forward. So it's an active style, dynamic stretching, but it's also gentle. So always listen to your body. Your body is very wise. Use whatever intensity feels right for you. You could also turn your toes in or out a little bit. Just experiment and start to connect to yourself in a way that you are able to listen to your body's cues. And you can really feel into the tissue and the fascia as your muscles lengthen. Let's do two more. This is a really important one because our hamstrings insert onto our pelvis, and the hamstrings is a common area of densified tissue. So as we start to lengthen, which happens with consistency, it's not going to just happen perfectly in one session. So revisit these movements, but it can help the pull of the hamstring on the pelvis, which can help a lot with low back pain. Let's finish up with one more. Good. And then this is a place for your strap, or place your top of your left foot onto a couch or onto a chair, or something soft and padded. If you don't have the couch or chair, you are going to bring a loop into your strap and put it around the top of your foot. Okay, and then hold onto the strap with your left hand over the left shoulder. Right foot is still stepped forward. If you have the couch, you're gonna push your foot down into the couch, but we're starting down low. So bring your right hand onto a block on the middle setting. And then we find the push of the foot into the strap or the couch. This will activate the front of the quad, so the front of your thigh. So that's our activation. And then we're gonna slowly lift up. So maybe you want that block on the highest setting actually. Inhale, relax, come back down. Exhale, push your foot down. Top of the thigh is engaged as we lengthen up. Okay. You'll also feel the stretching on the front of the left hip flexor possibly. Push down with your foot. And also drag forward with your left knee if you can think about that as well. Come back down. Let's do two more. You can turn your toes in or out. Push down with the foot, drag forward with your left knee, and lengthen that tissue all the way up the left front side of your body. And one more. Perfect. Release your strap or take your foot off the couch. And then plant your hands at the top of the mat. They can be on blocks if you'd like. Bring your right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. Take a couple circles in one direction and make this like a hip car. So really slow and controlled, carving out space in all directions. And then switch. Finding some active mobility, rotating through the joint. One more. Good, and then stay in your down dog, but square your hips. Bring your right knee to match your left knee, but the knee is still bent. And then we're gonna swivel through the hips and bring your right foot left and right, like a windshield wiper, as you push down through your left big toe. So this is kind of active fascial floss for the left calf. So you're like a flamingo standing on one leg. Let's do one more in each direction. Good. Step your right foot forward into pigeon pose, but keep it really high. Use your blocks. Point your right toe and angle your shin in. So we're not at that 90 degree. Give yourself a lot of space. Come up high. Use props. And then shift your right hip back and your left hip forward a little bit. So now we're going to push down through the right shin, and this will activate the tissue on the right outer glute. So push down through the shin, and then we're going to dip our chest low. We're about halfway down. And then relax. Use your hands to push you back up. Activation comes by pushing down through the right shin as you lower your chest down. And then lift back up by pushing through your arms. Perfect. Sink that right hip down and back. You can close your eyes and picture all that yummy muscle fascia tissue on the right outer glute spreading and opening, creating a lot of space for your hips and your SI joint and your low back. Creating expansion in the body so you can move better. And one more, push down through your shin and lower the chest down. Come back up, keep your right foot where it is, step your left foot forward and sit onto your right heel. So we're in this little half squat position. Place your left hand on the inside of your left knee or onto a block, and then just take some big twists and kind of rainbow circles with the right arm forward and backward, rotating through your thoracic spine, opening up the chest. Couple more. You can get your head and neck involved, whatever feels good. You always have permission to go off script and just find any movements that feel good for you. Okay, so we're at the top of the mat. Finish up with one more half circle here, like a big rainbow shape. And then blocks at the front of your mat. Step your right foot forward to meet your left into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Let your head hang heavy. And then notice one side versus the other. See what you feel in your legs and your feet and your back. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Push down through your blocks. Lengthen your spine and the crown of the head forward. Exhale, release, let it go. Two more. Inhale to wave up with your spine. Exhale, fold and release. And last one. Ground down to your feet. Roll up your spine one segment at a time, taking it slow, letting it feel good. When you get to the top, sweep your arms overhead and find a gentle little, I think this is called seed hand. So it's like a fist, but a really gentle one. And we're gonna bend into our knees slightly, find a little bounce through the heels. Seed hands are at 11 and 1 o'clock in front of you, or maybe 10 and 2, and just take like a little side bend, almost like you have a giant steering wheel, and you're just turning side to side, spreading through the waist and the side of the ribs, pushing down through your feet. Good, and then inhale, straighten your spine, sweep your arms up and back. Exhale, fold, release down. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into tabletop, and then sink your hips back to your heels in a child's pose, and make this an active one, like you're pouncing. Keep your toes tucked, and then roll out your spine a couple times with a rolling cat-cow. Inhale to round forward, stacking shoulders over wrists, and then exhale, uncurl the spine, sit your hips to your heels, arching, rounding, let it feel good. Close your eyes, feel organic and fluid. One more. Good. Come back to tabletop when you're ready, and we'll switch sides. So starting with our hamstring floss, step your left foot forward, blocks are in the highest setting. Dig your left heel down. Find the hamstring on the back of the left thigh activate as you lengthen the front leg and sit your hips back towards your right heel. Come forward again, rebend, relax. And then activate, dig your heel down and back. Keep that tension from the front of the very beginning of the rep all the way through the end. And close your eyes, feel where you feel this. Feel if you want to turn your toes in or out. I happen to feel a ton tighter on this side, and this is the side that I've really been working on my SI joint as well, and I feel the densified tissue on the very upper part of my hamstring where it inserts onto my pelvis. So this is when I visit at least once a day. And then we're patient with our bodies, and we know that we can make changes, and our bodies are adaptable and resilient, but we're consistent and we show up and we listen, some days more gently, some days we have more energy. Let's do 2 more. Good. Rebend. Find your strap if you have it. You're going to loop it over the top of the right foot, or place your foot on a couch or a chair. Moving into our quad floss. This is in Chinese medicine associated with your stomach channel, which is also just associated to muscle in general. So as we open the quad tissue, you might just feel a little bit more of a posture reset by paying attention to your muscle in your whole body. Okay, we start down low. Strap is over the right shoulder. Push your foot down, and then use your left hand on the highest block to lift up, okay? And then you can take out more slack if you'd like. We relax down, and then we push our right foot down, feel the top of the quad and the hip flexor activate as we lengthen up. And then you can also think about digging your right knee down and forward, like you're scooping it forward on the mat. Good. Feel free to turn your toes in or out. And this one can be fairly intense. See if you can find a little tuck of your pelvis down as you do so. So we're avoiding arching through the back, which is not a bad movement in and of itself, but different movements for different purposes. And let's do 2 more. Push your foot down, dig your knee forward, and then lengthen up. Last one, finish up. Good, release your strap or the couch. And then tuck your right toes. Press your palms and lift back into a 3-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. Take a couple of those circles. Your articular rotation in one direction. Carving out space. And then switch directions. Perfect. Square your hips. Bring your left knee to match your right, but your knee is bent. And then push down through your right big toe mound as you swivel your left foot. Left and right like a windshield wiper. Opening across the back of the calf, behind the knee, the ankle. And then pigeon pose, left shin forward. Point your toes and bring yourself at an angle. Prop yourself onto the blocks on the highest setting. Activate, actually first, sit back into your left hip a little bit. Slide your right hip forward. And then activate by pushing through your left shin. Feel the left glute turn on. And then dip your chest down. Inhale, relax. Come back up by pushing through your hands. That's why you have the props. And then push your shin down. Lower yourself. And come back up. You could close your eyes. You could picture that huge area of myofascial tissue, which is your glute complex, all around the hip. And picture that opening up, spreading, creating space for everything in your hip and your pelvis, your SI joint, your low back. all the way down towards the knee. Let's do 2 more. Sink back into your left hip a little bit. And then relax to come back up. Good. Finish up, and then keep your left foot where it is. Step your right foot forward and sit onto your left heel. So we're in our half squat. Left hand on the inside of your, or right hand, inside of right foot or onto a block. And then just take some big half circles with the left hand opening and closing through the spine, twisting, side bending, whatever feels good. Get your head and neck involved. One more. As you finish up, use your blocks. Step your left foot forward. Forward fold, hang your head, bend your knees a little bit, and notice side to side. I feel better. I feel a little more even for sure. Let's take 3 halfway lifts on your own time. Close your eyes and just let it feel fluid in your spine and soften your skin. Ground down through your feet, roll up your spine 1 segment at a time. Take those gentle seed hands out at an angle overhead, bend into your knees. Take a couple sways or side bends or giant steering wheel tilts. And never be afraid to look weird. Your body is supposed to move in weird ways. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, straighten your spine. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant your hands and your knees in a couple rolling cat-cows. Close your eyes. Find some animalistic free movement here. Rounding forward and then arching back. Finish up. And then we're going to stand at the top of our mat again. Use your blocks to get there if you'd like. Forward fold. 1 halfway lift. Exhale out of your mouth, let it go. Shake your head. Yes and no. Maybe bounce through your knees a little bit. Jiggle your thighs. Use your hands. Let your thighs go. And then roll up your spine. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way overhead. And then fold. We're going to take our blocks to the highest setting. And we're going to do a pyramid variation. So right foot is forward, step your left foot back. You're on railroad tracks. Dig your right heel back and then bend into your left knee. So we're finding, again, some activation on the back of the right hamstring. And then bend your left knee. Relax to come forward. And then as you do so, we're going to create a little around the world. So the left foot is going to slowly inch over to the right a little bit at a time each time you step forward again. So dig your right heel back. Right knee is slightly bent and left knee bends heavily. Keep that tension on the tissue on the back of the right leg. Step forward into the right foot. Lift your left foot slightly and inch it over to the right a couple of inches. You might start to feel this a lot on the right IT band area, the outer thigh. The more that the left foot steps over to the right, I definitely do. Think about sliding that right hip back in space even. Definitely can be a strong sensation, but again, this is an area where we tend to have a lot of dense tissue, so this is a really good one to visit. And it doesn't have to be too intense. Use the props. Go slow. Let's do one more. And if your left foot is over towards the right, we're going to leave it there. Bend into your right knee, a moderate amount. Stand up and take a curtsy. So arms stretch overhead and then side bend over to the right as your right hand catches your left wrist. And then open and close the chest. Rolling your shoulder back, peeking your heart up, and then back down. Step into both feet at the top of the mat. Take eagle arms, left arm on top, right arm underneath. Push your forearms into each other and slide up and down with your forearms, spreading the tissue on the back of the shoulder blades, your rhomboids. One more up and down. And then forward fold. Release your arms. Halfway lift, inhale. And then dig your left heel into the mat. Step your right foot back. Find that activation on the back of the left hamstring as you bend into your right knee and sit your hips back. Inhale, relax, come forward, lift off your right foot, step it just a couple inches over to the left. Dig your left heel back, bend into the right knee. Okay, so take about 5 of these, 5 to 10, just inching over, sinking back into your left hip, noticing your left outer quad, IT band area as well, lateral hamstring for sure. And if it's hard to feel, keep practicing, keep visiting. Like I said, consistency is so important as we're changing our tissue. It can look different each day. And if our tissue is really dense, it can compress on the nerves, so you might not feel a lot at first, but as you visit these practices more, you might start to create more space and have more nerve signals, so you're able to feel more. All right, let's take one more, and then keep your right foot over towards the left. Bend into your left knee a moderate amount, stand up, and take a curtsy stretch over to the left. Left hand catching right wrist and side bend over. You can stay still, or you can find the opening and closing of the right shoulder. If you lose your balance, that's all right, come back into it. And then step into both feet, eagle arms, right on top, left on bottom. Activate by pushing your forearms into each other. And then slide your arms up and down. Spreading across the scapula in the back. One more slide. And then release your arms down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let your breath go. Close your eyes and just relax here for a moment. Let your shoulders drop heavy and your neck be long. As you're ready, roll up your spine. And then just how we started, actually take one more sweep of your arms overhead because that might feel good, like a full body stretch. And then release, shake out your arms and your legs. And then notice how your posture feels, how your body feels, how maybe you're more grounded and lifted, hopefully. And enjoy the fact that you can reset your posture and your energy with this practice. Feel free to revisit it as much as you'd like and take any final stretches or wiggles or breath or meditation that would feel good for you. Let's end with 3 breaths together. You can do this standing or seated. Close your eyes. In and out through your nose, just low and slow breaths into the rib cage and the belly. Maybe noticing if your breath is moving with more ease and expansion throughout your body. And last breath. All right, you can blink your eyes open or stay longer. I hope you feel amazing. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.